going to watch the recap of the Russian disaster movies called Flight Crew. It is a story about bravery, self-sacrifice, and human dignity, put on trial by the merciless power of nature. Alexey Gushchin is an exceptionally talented yet rebellious, young military pilot. His disregard for authority and adherence to his own moral code frequently land him in trouble. This streak is on full display during a mission where Alexey is assigned to deliver humanitarian supplies. Alongside the aid, the cargo plane also carries cars for a general's family wedding. When the plane hits a violent storm, Alexey makes the daring decision to eject one of the cars mid-flight to ensure a safe passage through the turbulent weather. While his actions may have saved the plane, his defiance costs him his military career, and he is banned from flying military aircraft. Determined not to let this setback define him, Alexey turns to his father Igor, a renowned aircraft engineer, for help in restarting his career. With Igor's support, Alexey applies to a commercial airline. His skills are put to the test under the watchful eye of Leonid Zinchenko, a seasoned pilot, during an intense simulator examination. Alexey handles the simulated flight with impressive precision, but he fails the test when he crashes the plane into a building during the landing. In an unexpected twist, Zinchenko takes the same test and also fails. Seeing the talent beneath Alexey's unconventional approach, Zinchenko decides to hire him as a trainee co-pilot on a Tu-204 SM, with flight attendant Andrei joining the crew. Despite this professional opportunity, Zinchenko is wrestling with personal issues, particularly his strained relationship with his son Valera, who has dropped out of school. Meanwhile, Alexey starts a romantic relationship with fellow pilot Alexandra Kuzmina, further complicating his life. The first major mission with the new crew sees them tasked with evacuating tourists from an African country in the midst of a violent revolution. As they rush to complete the evacuation, tensions arise between Alexey and Zinchenko when Alexey learns that Zinchenko refused to allow local residents to board the plane, following strict orders that only the tourists were to be evacuated. This moral conflict deepens the rift between the two men. Back home, before embarking on another flight, Alexey confronts a wealthy passenger who refuses to comply with safety regulations. The situation escalates into a physical altercation, leading to Alexey's dismissal from the airline. His personal life also takes a hit, as his relationship with Alexandra begins to strain under the pressure of his professional troubles. The next day, however, Zinchenko approaches Alexey with an offer to rejoin the crew, impressed by Alexey's abilities. Zinchenko also plans to bring Valera along on their next flight, hoping that the experience will inspire his son to return to his studies. On their next mission to Southeast Asia, the crew receives an emergency message about a volcanic eruption on Kanwu, one of the Aleutian Islands. Diverting their flight, they head to the disaster zone to help evacuate survivors before the full eruption occurs. Upon reaching the Kanwu airport, they find it in ruins. An earthquake has destroyed one runway, while the other is engulfed in flames due to spilled burning oil. With rescue minibuses ferrying survivors to the airport, the crew must quickly organize the evacuation, racing against the clock as the volcano's activity intensifies. In the midst of this chaos, the crew receives news that one of the minibuses carrying evacuees has been trapped in a landslide. Without hesitation, Alexey, Andrei, and Valera drive out to rescue the stranded passengers. As they make their way back to the airport, a lava flow blocks their path. In a selfless act of bravery, Andrei drives his minivan into the lava to create a safe passage for the passengers to transfer to Alexey's vehicle. He narrowly escapes before the van is consumed by the molten rock. When they return to the airport on foot, they find the Tu-204 SM empty. Zinchenko and the other passengers have already boarded an An-26, leaving the Tu-204 for Alexey and his crew. With the main runway destroyed, Alexey faces a perilous decision to take off from the shorter, burning runway. Miraculously, a water tower collapses, dousing the flames, allowing Alexey to execute a successful takeoff. However, the volcanic ash causes engine fires mid-flight, adding to the danger. Despite these challenges, the crew manages to escape the disaster zone. In the air, they establish radio contact with Zinchenko's plane, but the reunion is bitter. Valera, deeply hurt by his father's actions and his moral compromises, tells him over the radio, I will never forgive you. The situation becomes dire when Zinchenko reports that his plane's fuel tank was damaged during takeoff, causing them to rapidly lose fuel. It's clear that they won't make it to the coast unless something drastic is done. Back at the airline's headquarters, Alexey's father, Igor, devises a daring plan. He proposes using a cable system to transfer passengers from Zinchenko's plane to the Tu-214 SM mid-air.